Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw for September 16th, 2013. Oh man, this started off pretty shitty, I have to say, with Daniel Bryan coming out and then Triple H coming out, and of course they bring up the fast count, which I was fine with. So he brings out Scott Armstrong, the referee from the match, and they showed the footage of his normal cadence. Triple H says the word cadence like 10 fucking times. He's like, this is your normal cadence when you count. And then here's the fast count. And then they show it again, and they show it again. And then he's looking at Scott Armstrong. He's like, be honest with me. Tell me the truth. I feel like you're hiding something. And Scott Armstrong like looks at Daniel Bryan and says something. And then Triple H is like, Did you just tell Daniel Bryan they got us, Daniel? And I'm like, what the fuck? Who wrote this bullshit? This is just shitty writing. So Scott Armstrong leaves. Triple H tells Daniel Bryan he's going to have to take the title from him. There's no WWE champion because he's not going to give it back to Orton. Even though he says there may be a rematch in the future. So Orton comes out, he's pissed off. Daniel Bryan refuses to give up the title. Triple H says he's going to take it from him. And Randy Orton hits an RKO while Triple H is like grabbing at the belt or something. It was really weird, but they lay out Daniel Bryan and Triple H has the title. So there's technically no WWE champion right now. Alright, I also wanted to mention the little side plates on the title. So since Daniel Bryan was actually champion long enough to get the side plates this time, his just say yes on the side, which I'm fine with. I think it looks kind of cool, but I would have preferred if they went with the D and the B symbol that he wears on his tights. It's kind of like the Dead Kennedy symbol. I think that would have been better because you don't know how long the yes gimmick's going to last, and I'm sure they could always change in the future. But I just think it would have been better to go with something that just said Daniel Bryan, like the D and B symbol. But like I said, it still looks cool. So Randy Orton comes up to Triple H and Stephanie backstage, and he's like, what the hell just happened out there? And Triple H says, what happened? Jesus! This fucking show. So Triple H and Stephanie tell Randy Orton they want to see the old Randy Orton, the vicious Randy Orton. Then we get Dolph versus Ambrose again. Good match. Dolph wins with the zigzag. So Ambrose beat Dolph clean at the pay-per-view, and Dolph beat Ambrose here clean on Raw. I can't really say which match was better. They were both about the same level to me, but yeah, it was. I'm glad Dolph went over here. They're going to do the match again. I don't know if he's going to win the U.S. title at this point, but I'm trying to figure out like what exactly happened to Dolph, and I've come to the conclusion that what happened to Dolph Ziggler was Jack Swagger happened. When he got that concussion, that's when everything got fucked up for him. I think they did have big plans for Dolph, but once he was injured and they took him off TV, and then when he came back, he wasn't quite as over. I think that's what really hurt him. So Stephanie tells Big Show he's got to stay backstage and stay out of trouble. We get I'm looking at a picture of Triple H as a child right now. Those teeth. Damn. But then we get Fandango versus R-Truth. Match was okay. Fandango wins with a leg drop, but what was really entertaining about this match was the commentary. This shit here. Oh man, so Dusty Rhodes comes out. He's looking more and more like Ursula from The Little Mermaid. And he calls out Stephanie McMahon because she's got a proposition for him. And Stephanie tells him that he can have Cody get his job back, or he can choose Goldust. So Dusty can't choose between his sons. So the Shield comes out. Stephanie brings out the Big Show, and she says he can have the Shield dismember him, or he can get knocked out by the Big Show. He doesn't make a choice here either. So she tells Big Show to hit him. Big Show can't do it. He cries. So the Shield goes and gets some chairs, and Big Show says, "Don't you fucking touch him!" And he's like, "I'm sorry, Dusty." And he punches him in the face. You know it was a weak-ass punch because they made a point not to show it. And Dusty just collapses on him and Big Show gently puts him down. And he keeps crying. And they carry Dusty off on a stretcher and they put him in an ambulance and Big Show rides with him in the ambulance to the hospital. Brie Bella and the Funkadactyls versus Layla, Alicia Fox, and Oksana. You got AJ and Natalya on commentary. Natalya's headset's not working. They're trying to say AJ did it. I don't know what the fuck this was. Brie Bella pushes Naomi out of the way, tags herself in, hits a facebuster on Oksana for the win. So I have no idea what's going on with the Total Divas. And then Natalya has a stare down with AJ, so they're going to start building towards Natalya versus AJ, I guess. It's RVD versus Damien Sandow. Didn't care much for this. Felt like a basic match with RVD just getting all his shit in and winning with the frog splash. Backstage, Triple H fires Scott Armstrong. And he's like, but Triple H, you... And Triple H is like, I'm gonna take care of you. So, I mean, obviously they're working together. And then it's Randy Orton versus The Miz. And The Miz comes out. It's his hometown, so he's talking to his mom and dad. He hugs him. Orton attacks him from behind, throws him into the stairs. Miz goes off on Orton for a little bit, but Orton just starts throwing him into shit again, so they both get counted out. Orton starts beating him up in front of his parents. He hits the drop DDT off the barricade in front of him, and Miz's mom was at least crying and acting upset, but Miz's dad was just staring the entire time, just no reaction whatsoever, nothing. And Orton gets him in the ring, puts a chair on his head, and then drops his knee on the chair. So I guess they're going to write Miz off TV for a while at least. Paul Heyman comes out with Ryback, and he says he's the best in the world, and he pins CM Punk, and it's all thanks to Ryback, this big, beautiful man. And Ryback says he hates bullies. CM Punk tried to bully Paul Heyman, but Heyman will never have to worry about Punk again. And Heyman kisses Ryback on the cheek, and they leave. And King says, did Heyman just kiss Ryback? And JBL says, yep, he did. Alright, we get some updates here. The Miz has a damaged thorax. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to be taken off TV for a little bit here. And Dusty Rhodes is still alive. Then we get a three-way tag team elimination match with the Usos versus Tons of Funk and the Real Americans. King cannot say Stegosaurus. It's impossible for him. Here he called it a Stegosaurus. But Tensai kicked everyone's ass in this match. But Cesaro rolls him up and eliminates Tons of Funk. He rolls up Tensai. Brodus Clay just fucking falls over. And Tons of Funk is eliminated. And the Usos beat the Real Americans with a splash. So they are now the #1 contenders to the tag titles. Daniel Bryan is making his way to the ring for his match against Roman Reigns, the powerhouse of the Shield. And all the superstars backstage are like, yeah, man, go get him. He hugs Brie Bella. We get the match. Randy Orton comes out to sit at ringside. Match was okay. There was a lot of downtime in this match, though. They definitely dragged it out. Another thing I didn't like is they showed that footage of the fast count and then the regular count and then side by side. They showed that during the match. But eventually Daniel Bryan gets Roman Reigns in the yes lock. Orton runs in, attacks Daniel Bryan, so the ref rings the bell. Bryan gets Orton in the yes lock, and the Shield attacks him. And they beat him down. Orton puts the chair on his head. He's going to damage his thorax. And the locker room comes out. Well, the Job Squad. You got the Primetime Players, the Usos, R-Truth, Kofi, Dolph, Justin Gabriel, Zack Ryder. And RVD was there too. And they fight off the Shield. They hoist Daniel Bryan up on their shoulders, and they all do the yes chant. So that's how the show ended here. It was funny that despite having all the numbers, they had the locker room out there, Kofi Kingston still got speared. But that was Raw this week. And I have to say it was an average show. It had some good stuff. I liked Orton Miz, Ambrose versus Dolph. But it also had that referee bullshit. It had the Dusty Rhodes segment, which was just silly. So it was really just an average show. But anyways, that's my review. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.